After a CAL FIRE firefighter died in a training exercise, his girlfriend says it could have been prevented. What our Team 10 investigators learned from state records about the captain who was in charge.
And the family of a Chula Vista mother missing for a month says they're not giving up hope. The communication they're hoping to see as police continue their investigation.
ABC 10 News starts now with breaking news.
Claremont Mesa Boulevard is back open tonight after an hours-long search for a gunman near a church and a preschool. That search was called off about an hour ago. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. That search led to a huge police presence near the Northminster Presbyterian Church west of Genesee Avenue. Our ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura has been on scene since shortly after the search began and where the last officers just left that scene. Anthony.
That's right, a huge difference here in the past half hour. Police have left the area. The crime scene tape has come down and Claremont Mesa Boulevard here is back open tonight. But I do want to show you what this area looked like earlier this afternoon. This started a little before 2 p.m. after someone was shot. Sky 10 flew over the area shortly after police responded to the call. Police found the victim. He had a gunshot wound. He's been sent to the hospital and is undergoing surgery. Some witnesses told police that the victim was with two men and they believed that they were armed. Police located one person with a gun and took that person into custody. Now there is a preschool in the area with kids. So police say that there were about 12 kids at Northminster Preschool, and so they were worried about that possible second suspect. So they called in SWAT to secure the area. The kids were taken to a nearby church, Claremont Lutheran Church. That's where they were picked up by their families and all the kids are safe. Now, there was no second suspect that's been found. Police have not definitively said if there is or isn't a second suspect, but at this point, based on their investigation, they have called off the search and they believe that this area is secure. We're reporting live tonight. Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
A tense afternoon there, Anthony. Thank you for the update. A local CAL FIRE firefighter died after a routine training exercise, and tonight his girlfriend says it could have been prevented. For 6 months, Team 10 investigative reporter Jennifer Kastner has been poring through records, revealing the captain in charge of the training was found by the state to be incompetent and dishonest.
That former captain was demoted, but it may only be temporary. Documents we got show that he will be eligible to get his position back. CAL FIRE told us that they conducted a thorough investigation into his actions, and they remain committed to the safety of their employees.
He had been shopping for wedding rings because he had told them he was going to buy a ring his second season of firefighting.
Ashley Valario was planning to grow old with Yaro Kotkov. The San Diego couple met in middle school. She always knew he'd become a firefighter. He loved caring for people and the environment. Their dates were often interrupted by this.
He would just stop and pick up like every piece of trash on the way. And I'm like, and even I would be like, come on, like, can we go? Like,
this interview with Valario was recorded last July after she came to us for help getting answers about the 28-year-old's sudden death following a training hike with a captain and another firefighter on a hot day in the rugged mountains of Duluth. The cause of death was heat exposure, according to a CAL FIRE report, which did not indicate that he had any major underlying health problems. Valario said CAL FIRE told her they did all they could to save him. She only questioned that after she was tipped off to get a copy of this state report. The report exposed that Katkov did not complete the first hike in time, so the captain had him do it again after taking a 20-minute break. It was 78 degrees out. On the second go, the report found that the captain noticed he was struggling and took over 20 breaks along the trail. He was stumbling and losing his balance. Another firefighter pushed him from behind, but once on the ridge, he fell forward and sat down. The report goes on to read that he was told to take off his gear and cool down, but as his mental status declined, the captain initiated a medical response. He was airlifted to a hospital where he died.
After reading the reports, I realized like not everything that could have been done was done.
This report highlights multiple citations given. According to Cal OSHA, CAL FIRE failed in a number of ways, notably by failing to start emergency response procedures that matched the severity of heat illness symptoms observed by a supervisor. The agency was ordered to and paid more than $80,000 in penalties. ABC 10 News requested records from CAL FIRE for information about the supervisor, former Captain Joe Ekblad. What we got back was revealing. We interviewed Valario again in January to share it with her.
Have you ever been told this in this great detail?
No.
Among the documents, a notice to Ekblad of his demotion last May from fire captain to firefighter 2. He'll then become a fire apparatus engineer this coming May, and next May in 2022, he'll become eligible for reinstatement to captain. The long list of causes for demotion include incompetency, inexcusable neglect of duty, dishonesty.
Have you ever seen that?
No. And my question to that is all of those things, not all of those things are things that happen, they're characteristics. They say who he is as a person.
Page after page in the demotion notice describes accusations of missteps to the captain. You ignored his erratic behavior and his failure to follow direction, which was yet another indicator his mental state was compromised, and yet another flag for you to stop the training hike and implement immediate cooling measures, which you failed to do. Instead, you pushed on. Katkov fell back, and when he went to stand up, he staggered backwards. His eyes rolled into the back of his head, he began to shake uncontrollably, and he lost consciousness.
What I was physically told from CAL FIRE was that everything that could be done was done.
The notice reports that the captain made false statements during the administrative review by not in part acknowledging indications that Katkov was struggling.
How can you read those things and feel comfortable ever promoting him ever again? It just is such a slap in the face.
CAL FIRE denied our repeated requests for taped virtual interviews, but they did answer some of our questions, including how the decision was made to only demote the captain. Part of our response reads, CAL FIRE management made the decision to demote Ekblad rather than terminate him, following the same factors the state personnel board would use in determining if any discipline imposed on a state employee is warranted. Some of those factors include length of state service and prior progressive discipline. CAL FIRE said he had no prior offenses and he's currently not supervising any employees. CAL FIRE told ABC 10 News that he is not interested in providing us with any comment.
My entire goal here is just to make sure this never happens again. I don't want another family to ever experience this when it was absolutely preventable.
Valario has a petition going in the hope of getting the former captain to resign. She also wants the agency to instigate greater safety training procedures. For a complete list of corrections that CAL FIRE made following the Cal OSHA citations, go to our website 10news.com and click on this story. Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
There are new details tonight about an exclusive Team 10 investigation that ABC 10 News broke this morning at 11. High-powered explosives have vanished from a Southern California military base, according to sources. This happened at 29 Palms Marine Corps Base, where 10 pounds of explosives disappeared. They are believed to have been stolen. Sources say the C4 disappeared 2 weeks ago during a training exercise. These images are from other training exercises in 2016, not from the one in question. We are told there is a reward being offered for information that helps find that C4. Experts say the explosives do have the potential to do significant damage.
It is the most powerful explosive that there is. Everything's measured, all explosives are measured against TNT, and C4 is right there with TNT.
The Marine base would not confirm the details in our story, but sent a brief statement reading in part, the ongoing investigation into this incident is being handled by NCIS and the affected units. We also reached out to NCIS, and they wrote back, out of respect for the investigative process, NCIS does not comment on or confirm details relating to ongoing investigations.
The president of the San Diego Unified School Board says teachers and school staff should be prioritized for COVID vaccines, despite the CDC saying that it's not necessary in order to open safely schools. Well, the CDC made that announcement yesterday, the same day that Governor Gavin Newsom said he supports reopening elementary schools. And today, ABC 10 News spoke with a teacher at Johnson Elementary, where he says the parents of many students are essential workers and are at high risk of COVID exposure.
In my room alone, 2 families that COVID ran roughshod over, the entire family. They're out at work every day. I mean, quarantining is a luxury they don't have.
County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher explained the county's stance, saying that public health guidelines prioritize vulnerable seniors over young and healthy workers. We know there are many questions and different experiences with the vaccine rollout. Our ABC 10 News in-depth team is committed to tracking down answers and sharing your stories. Just send us an email to tips@10news.com.